As the remaining members of the 10 Great Assassins and Silverback carried Bearclaw's lifeless body back to their headquarters, a heavy silence enveloped them. No words were spoken. The weight of their loss was palpable. The once formidable group of 10 assassins, renowned for their lethal prowess and unyielding strength, was now reduced to 9. The victory they had achieved felt hollow, overshadowed by the death of their comrade. The return to headquarters. Their journey back was somber, each step echoing the void left by Bearclaw's absence. The streets were eerily quiet, as if the world itself was mourning the loss of one of its fiercest warriors. The usual confidence and swagger of the 10 Great Assassins were replaced by a profound sense of grief and introspection. Silverback, who led them with a stoic expression, felt the burden of his decisions weighing heavily on his heart. Arrival and reflection. When they finally reached the headquarters, the atmosphere was thick with sorrow. The sight of Bearclaw's body, laid out with care and respect, served as a stark reminder of the cost of their violent lives. The remaining members of the 10 Great Assassins gathered around, their expressions a mix of sadness and determination. They had returned as victors, but the loss of one of their own turned their triumph into a bitter pill to swallow. Eagle's grief. Eagle, the leader of the 10 Great Assassins, was waiting for them. His usually sharp and commanding presence was now tinged with a deep sadness. As he saw Bearclaw's body, a wave of grief washed over him. Bearclaw was not just a member of the group, he was a vital part of their strength and identity. Losing him felt like losing a part of himself. Eagle approached the fallen warrior, his eyes reflecting a mixture of sorrow and anger. He placed a hand on Bearclaw's chest, feeling the coldness of death, and whispered a few words of farewell. His mind raced with memories of their battles together, the loyalty and camaraderie they had shared. Bearclaw had always been a fierce fighter, unwavering in his dedication to the group. His loss was a blow not only to their physical strength, but to their morale as well. The weight of leadership. As the leader, Eagle felt an immense responsibility for the lives of his men. He had always prided himself on his ability to protect and guide them through the most dangerous situations. Now, faced with the death of Bearclaw, he couldn't help but question his decisions. Could he have done something differently? Was there a way to prevent this tragedy? These thoughts tormented him, adding to the weight of his grief. Eagle gathered the remaining members around him, his voice steady but filled with emotion. Bearclaw was one of our finest, a warrior of unparalleled skill and loyalty. His death is a reminder of the dangers we face, but also of the bond we share. We must honor his memory by continuing to fight with the same strength and determination that he showed every day. A shift in dynamics. The loss of Bearclaw created a noticeable shift in the dynamics of the 10 Great Assassins. Each member felt the void left by their fallen comrade. Their usual banter and camaraderie were replaced with a somber silence. Training sessions, once filled with competitive energy, now carried an undercurrent of mourning. Eagle noticed the change and knew he had to address it. He called a meeting, gathering the remaining 9 members in their training hall. As they stood in a circle, the absence of Bearclaw was glaringly obvious. Eagle took a deep breath and spoke, his voice echoing through the hall. "We have lost a brother, a warrior who stood with us through countless battles. Bearclaw's strength and courage were a cornerstone of our group. We cannot let his death be in vain. We must channel our grief into our training, our missions, and our resolve. We owe it to him to become stronger, to honor his legacy by being the best versions of ourselves." Honoring Bearclaw's legacy. In the days that followed, the 10 Great Assassins dedicated themselves to honoring Bearclaw's memory. They trained harder, pushing themselves to new limits. Each member took on a piece of Bearclaw's responsibilities, ensuring that his contributions to the group would not be forgotten. They shared stories of his bravery, his skill, and his loyalty, keeping his spirit alive within their ranks. Eagle, in particular, felt a renewed sense of purpose. Bearclaw's death had ignited a fire within him, a determination to lead his men with even greater strength and wisdom. He knew that the path they walked was fraught with danger, but he also knew that they were capable of overcoming any obstacle if they stood united. Moving forward. As the 10 great assassins continued their journey, they carried Bearclaw's memory with them. His loss had brought them closer together, forging an unbreakable bond of brotherhood and resilience. They were no longer just a group of deadly assassins, they were a family, bound by shared experiences and a collective will to honor their fallen comrade. Silverback, too, felt the weight of Bearclaw's death. It reminded him of the fragility of life and the importance of their mission. He vowed to fight with even greater ferocity to protect his comrades and ensure that Bearclaw's sacrifice would not be in vain. A legacy of strength. Bearclaw's legacy lived on through the actions and resolve of the 10 great assassins. They continued to face challenges and adversaries, each battle a testament to their unity and strength. Bearclaw's spirit guided them, reminding them of the power of loyalty and the importance of fighting for a cause greater than themselves. In the end, Bearclaw's death had a profound impact on the 10 great assassins. It strengthened their resolve, deepened their bond, and reminded them of the true cost of their way of life. As they moved forward, they did so with the knowledge that they carried the legacy of a great warrior within them, and that they would continue to honor his memory in every battle they fought. The death of Bearclaw. The death of Bearclaw of the 10 great assassins spread quickly throughout the gang world, creating ripples of mixed emotions. In the seedy underbelly of the city, whispers of Bearclaw's demise brought both fear and a false sense of hope to various factions. While some celebrated, others remained on edge, fully aware of the relentless power of Silverback. Cunning Hyena's headquarters. In the dimly lit room of the Cunning Hyena's headquarters, the gang's leader, Boosie, leaned back in his chair, deep in thought. His lieutenants, each with a mix of relief and worry etched on their faces, gathered around the table. Hero, Bearclaw's death is a significant blow to the 10 great assassins. Without him, their strength must be diminished, right? Boosie, don't be so naive. Bearclaw was just one piece of the puzzle. Silverback's strength and strategic mind are what we need to worry about. He has already taken down Tiga and Susie, two of the strongest fighters. We can't afford to underestimate him. Lippy, but with one less assassin, their coordination might suffer. This could be an opportunity for us to strengthen our defenses and even expand our territory. Boosie, perhaps. But remember, Silverback is known for his adaptability and ruthlessness. If we make a wrong move, we could be their next target. Mighty Gorilla's training grounds. Heis, the leader of the Mighty Gorillas, was overseeing a training session when one of his scouts approached him with urgent news. Heis' eyes narrowed as he listened. BYSS, Bearclaw is dead. The 10 great assassins are down to 9. Heis, so one less assassin to worry about. But that doesn't change the fact that Silverback is still out there. His strength alone is enough to wipe out entire gangs. Raffet, we've seen what he did to Tiga and Susie. Our men are strong, but are they strong enough to face someone like Silverback? Heis, we must prepare for the worst. Double our training sessions and fortify our defenses. We can't let our guard down for even a second. Silverback's presence means we need to be ready for anything. Unknown gang's hideout. In a shabby hideout, a group of small-time gangsters gathered around a makeshift table, celebrating the news of Bearclaw's death. Their leader, a scrappy man named Gene, raised his glass with a wide grin. Lenny's, to Bearclaw's demise. The mighty 10 great assassins are not invincible after all. Maze, this is great news for us. With one less assassin, we might actually stand a chance to gain some ground. Yubian, do you think Silverback will come after us? Lenny's, why would he? We're small fish compared to the likes of the Cunning Hyenas and the Mighty Gorillas. As long as we stay under the radar, we can take advantage of this chaos. ZYTH, maybe we can even recruit some of their disheartened members. Strengthen our numbers while they deal with their loss. Lenny's, exactly. This is our time to rise. Bearclaw's death is a sign that the mighty can fall. We just need to be smart about it. Mixed gangs meeting point. At a neutral meeting point, representatives from various gangs convene to discuss the latest developments. The atmosphere was tense, filled with apprehension and speculation. Maris, leader of the smoke snake Bearclaw's death is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, the 10 great assassins are weakened. On the other, Silverback is more dangerous than ever. Abai, leader of the Black Scorpion, I've heard rumors that Silverback is planning something big. We need to be on high alert. Kusu's, leader of the Wildcat, but what can we do against someone who defeated both Tigut and Suzy? Our best fighters would stand no chance. Maris, leader of the Smoke Snake, we must unite, at least temporarily. Share intelligence, resources, anything to keep Silverback and his assassins at bay. Abai, leader of the Black Scorpion, agreed. We can't let our rivalries blind us to the greater threat. Survival comes first. The small gangs. In a rundown warehouse, a small-time gang was throwing a makeshift party. The leader, a wiry man named Leo, was addressing his followers with an air of excitement. Leo, Bearclaw is dead, and the 10 great assassins are down to 9. This is our chance to make a name for ourselves. Ruja, yeah, with them weakened, we can take over some of their territories. Many, and maybe recruit some of their scared members. Strength in numbers, right? Leo, exactly. We've been living in the shadows for too long. Now is the time to step into the light. Bearclaw's death is just the beginning. If we play our cards right, we could be the next big thing. House, but what about Silverback? He's still out there. Leo, Silverback may be strong, but he's just one man. If we stay smart and stick together, we can outmaneuver him. Remember, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Shockwaves. The death of Bearclaw sent shockwaves through the gang world, creating a complex web of emotions and reactions. While some saw it as an opportunity to rise, others were filled with dread at the thought of facing Silverback's wrath. The once unassailable 10 great assassins had shown a crack in their armor, but their remaining strength, led by the formidable Silverback, continued to cast a long shadow over the underworld. The balance of power was shifting, and the future remained uncertain, with alliances forming and dissolving in the face of an ever-present threat.